want to go ahead and talk to you about a special factoring method, and it's called factoring with the difference of squares. This method only works if 3 conditions are met. But if these 3 conditions are met, then factoring is super quick. I don't have to do this guess and check thing. So the first thing is that I have no bx term. So that middle term in the ax squared plus bx plus c, that middle term doesn't exist, which must mean that the b value is 0. If that's the case, if I only have 2 terms, the front term and the back term, then what I want to do is look for a subtraction sign. And if that is true, if I have that first term and I'm subtracting the second term, then the last thing I want to look at is to see if all of the terms are perfect squares. And if all the terms are perfect squares, then this method that I'm about to show you, this really quick super shortcut, is going to work. So let me show you what the equation is. And it's just an equation to memorize, but I'll show you why it works. The equation is that some value squared minus the other value squared is equal to a minus b and a plus b. So as long as you have 2 perfect squares, then you can immediately write your factored form like this. Why does this work? It works because if I do FOIL on this, or double distribution, a times a is a squared, a times b is ab, negative b times a is negative ab, and then a negative b times a positive b is a minus b squared. Notice that I have a positive ab and a negative ab, and there are my 2 terms, a squared minus b squared. If I look at number 8 here, notice that we have 2 terms. Notice that we have a negative sign, and 9 and 4 are both perfect squares. And of course, x squared is the perfect square of x. So I can just immediately write my factored form as 3x in the front, a minus 2 and a plus 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. And that's my factored form. Think about doing that versus if I was going to use the guess and check method, I would need to create a t-chart for 9, and I'd have 2 possibilities, a 1 and a 9, and a 3 and a 3, and then I'd need to take a t-chart for 4, which could be 1 and 4 or 2 and 2. Notice that I have a negative sign there, so I'd have to figure out which one was positive, which one was negative. Lots of different combinations to check, and that's going to take you time. If you can notice that you have 2 squared things and you're taking the difference of them, you're subtracting, then this is a really quick alternate method. So 25x squared becomes 5x times 5x, and a minus 36 is a minus 6 and a plus 6. Really easy to write these. Try this last one on your own and then double check it with me when you come back. All right, so for this last one, we have an x squared minus 49. The square root of x squared is just x, so that's what goes in the front. And the square root of 49 is 7, so that's what goes in the back. 1 positive and 1 negative.